This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life on a Thursday morning. Welcome along to the Smooth Breakfast. Yours truly is Ayokunmi. And it is that time where we get to have conversations. We get to talk and have a back and forth. Lagos, this is Lagos Talks. Join us on the conversation. We love it when you're a part of the discussion. So let me just clue you into how you can actually do that. You can join us on WhatsApp to share your thoughts right there. 0809 981 0809 981. That's the WhatsApp number. You can also give us a call on WhatsApp if it's convenient for you. And if you'd love to talk to us on the studio line, you can do that on 0201 4489981 0201 4489981. And that's not all. You can join us on YouTube where we're streaming live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Those are the ways you can be a part of Lagos Talks. Now, this morning, we're going down the business route. Yes, it's all about the A to Z of business. And we're going to explore, or, here we explore the entrepreneurial journeys of remarkable business owners who have turned their passions into thriving enterprises. And on the show today, we have one such person. Joining me this morning is Ramatu Ahmed. She's the CEO of Trimas Diamonds Consults, an integrative life coach. She's a family counselor certified in NLP. And if you don't know what that means, that is neuro linguistic programming, and EFT as well. That's emotional freedom techniques. Now, she is the real deal, is all I can say. Let me just put it that way. And today she's going to be, give us the business side of coaching, how to manage clients, how to scale for growth for those who are looking to get into that space. For those who love to coach, those who want to become coaches, you also need to understand the business side of things. It's all well and good to be good at it, but how do you make it a career? How do you make the most out of it? That's why we have these sort of conversations. A very good morning to you, Ramatu. Great to have you on Lagos Talks this morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. I love the very cheery and sunny demeanor. I feel the energy right here where I am. That's the sort
Yeah.
of thing I absolutely love. Absolutely, pleased to have you to be able to talk about, your business, how you got into it, and how you made it or built it to where you are. It's a great lesson for anyone who's out there listening to us right now, who is within that space but has no idea or have no idea what to do in order to take things to the next level. And I will begin, as I always love to do. I really need to know what inspired you to actually start Trimas Diamonds Consult. I mean, starting a business like that often stems from personal passion. That's I'm very sure of. And I believe that it's something that for you to get into this line of business, you need to have that passion to start with, kind of like the passion to be a doctor, to be a nurse, to be a teacher, that sort of thing. And I also want to believe that your journey likely had deep roots in your personal experiences, perhaps, and also that desire to see people thrive in their relationships in different walks of life. So, how exactly did you get into this business of life coaching and of counseling as well?
Good morning once again. Thank you for having me. And thank you for this opportunity. And it's something I have passion about, and I always love to talk about it. Incidentally, some years to my retirement, I retired as head of HR in the Federal Parastatals. And
Okay.
I have come in contact with so many retirees. I process their exit. So I have direct relationship with them. So I know the kind of experiences they have when they're about to leave. You can see fear in some people
Mm,
because they were not properly prepared. Some, to be honest, were prepared, but some were not prepared. So when it got to just 2 years to my own exit, I knew I didn't want to be a retiree that would go into buying and selling.
okay.
Yes, I knew. So I now asked myself, okay, this is the time to give back to the society. What do I love to do? I love talking, particularly to young people in the area of relationship. Because all along my life, I find out that I'm very good in reconciliating parties when they
Mm,
have crisis. And when young people look up to me for marriage advices, I give it to them. And then they come back to me to say, oh, thank you very much. What the conversation we had last time, I found it very useful. So I said, okay, why not? And each time I find couples drifting apart, it breaks my heart. So I now said, okay, why don't I get certified to do this? It's so that I will be recognized. I will go the scientific way, the humanistic way, to get exposed to all the modern techniques. Because whether you'll agree, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the way marriages were in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s is completely a new ball game entirely in this century. So that's how my journey started. Yes, I'm very passionate about individuals having an awesome experience in their relationships. So, but it takes a lot of hard work to get that experience. And as a coach, I realized that I needed to get certified with my own personal experience that I've had over 4 decades now, close to 4 decades, for me to be able to merge the two together to impact on lives that come through me. So that when I'm gone, they will remember that, oh, I came through this lady and she did this and this for me. So that's it. That's what led me to it, my passion. And then because I'm retired and because people don't value free things, I thought I should be charging for it. And that was how the business side came into it.
Oh my goodness, the fact that people don't value free things. I mean, that is an uncomfortable truth, but the truth all the same.
Yeah.
People, when it's free, people just kind of take it for granted. But when
Yeah.
they need to, shed their hard-earned money, they value that as this thing, I'm paying for it, so I need to get the best value out of it. I like that. I like that. Now, I mean, so that was the birth of the idea of getting into that business. Now, once the idea of starting that business solidifies, the next step obviously would be to take action. Initial moves that would, probably include creating a business plan, registering business, developing your offerings as well. What were let's say the first three concrete steps or concrete actions that you took when you decided to launch your business?
Well, your passion and the business part of it are two completely different things. The fact that for you to convert your passion into a money-making venture, they are two different things. So you must go through the process of learning the business of that your passion. And it's different for every profession. How a life coach will structure their business is completely different from how a medical doctor will structure their own business. And it's also different from how a business consultant will set up their business. So you must understand your terrain. So what am I selling? Who am I selling it to? Can they afford my product? So you must go in there and get the business knowledge you need to change your passion into a money-making venture for you. So one is that you need to seek knowledge about how your business will thrive in the community you find yourself. Is there a demand for it? Are people willing to pay for your time? And are you willing to give them more than they paid for? Because that is what will keep your business going.
Giving them the value.
Yeah, for more than what they paid for, so that you will have repeat customers. If you have one-off customer, after that their experience, you must leave them with their experience for them to want to come back.
Okay.
If you're not able to create a system like that, you won't be able to keep your business afloat consistently. So know the business model that is right for your kind of passion.
Very important. Interesting.
Because it differs. That's why I cannot give you breakdown. I cannot box you into a particular model because it varies depending on what you want to do.
Okay, and that is something that everybody that decides to go into a particular business needs to understand. It's not one size fits all. You need to understand the dynamics of the particular field that you are in. Very important to know that. We'll talk about the challenges that you probably faced at the beginning or even in the middle and probably up until now when it came to getting into your business. But we need to take a quick break. When we come back in, we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. We're talking business this morning, specifically the business of life coaching and counseling as well. This is Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a bit. Okay, quick break, 30-second break. I will jump back. Very interesting thought. So the fact that every business is different, so you need to look at it on the merits of that particular business. Some people will just say, "Oh, that guy is doing business, he's selling clothes, and I can also, without understanding that the dynamics are different."
The dynamics are completely different. Yeah. Even as little as location can change the dynamics.
Okay. That is true.
As little as you think location can change the dynamics.
That is very true.
Even in the same town. So you must know the basic principles might be the same, but you must tailor it according to your own needs. The needs of the business, the terrain you find yourself.
All right. Okay, let's get back in.
Okay.
Welcome back to Lagos Talks. This is Smooth 98.1. Your love music, love life, and of course, love great conversation station. It is 17 minutes past 9 a.m. on a Thursday morning. My name is Ayokunmi and having a great time as I always do. And of course, by extension, you do as well. Welcome to the show. It's all about business this morning on Lagos Talks. We're looking at the business side of coaching, managing clients, and growth as well. And my guest this morning is Ramatu Ahmed. She is a life coach, she's a family counselor as well, and she's the CEO of Trimas Diamonds Consult. And she is giving us all the knowledge about breaking into the business of life coaching. For those who love to, should I say, help other people, those who have that passion for giving value to people, helping them in relationships, in their lives, and so on and so forth. And that is something you would love to turn that passion into profits. That's why you need to join in this conversation and of course learn how she was able to do it from the ground up to where she is right now. You can come through and share your thoughts this morning or any questions you might have on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 444 0981 0809 444 0981. You can also call on WhatsApp if you so please. You can also call on the studio line that remains 0201 4489 981. All right, Ramatu, welcome back to the conversation. Enjoying your perspective this morning so far. Now, before we went on that quick breather, I mentioned that we're going to talk about some of the challenges that you face. I mean, any new business encounters roadblocks. And in what you do in coaching, in counseling, challenges abound. I'm pretty sure there was, the challenge of, oh, how am I going to get my clients, managing expectations, creating consistent workflow, and all those sort of things. And it's a competitive market as well. So you also have the issue of, oh, how am I going to stand out amongst every other person who is doing this particular thing? So what were some of the challenges that you faced at, the ground level when you just started to get into the business?
Wow. For me, personally, I found challenges in selling services as against physical products.
Mm.
That's the challenge. That's the first challenge I faced. So you see, when people see what they want to buy, people appreciate it because they are able to, the environment is quickly, let's break it down. You see my red shoes. Oh, Ramatu, this red shoe is beautiful. But it takes time before you notice that Ramatu has changed from who she is to what she is now, before you compliment her.
Right.
So people find it easier to spend their money on what people will quickly see as against what takes time before they see. So most times, except there's a dire need for them to come into your space, they don't come.
Okay.
So, but with time, and coaching is just over 2 decades in this part, particularly in this country, as compared to the Western world, where it has become a part of life for them.
Right.
You still come in contact with people and ask them, what do you know about life coaching? The first thought that comes to their mind is football. Because that's where they believe coach exists.
Coaches exist, exactly.
Yeah. So they will not ask you, can you please break it down for us? So we need a lot of synthesization about telling people about what coach is, what life coach can do in your life. And incidentally, life coach can manage any part of your life that you want to move from where you are now to your desired state. So that's it. Selling the product was a bit challenging because services for me took time. It took time before people started recognizing it. And then when people got instant relief, when people could now measure their progress themselves, then they will sell you. At that point, you don't need to go about chasing people again, because your results will now sell you. People will now refer you. People will now come to you. Oh, when I was in this situation, she helped me out. When my marriage was going through this, I contacted Coach Ramatu, and this is what, and go to her. She will help you out. So it takes time to build your brand if you are patient and you are consistent in the coaching industry.
Interesting. But okay, I'm just curious now within that period where you had to be patient before you were able to, should I say, get that what's the word, recognition, as it were. Did you ever have any self-doubt? Like, this is taking long.
Yeah.
Am I really made for this? Should I give up? Did you have any of those thoughts at any point in time?
Several times. I'm being honest with you, several times. Because you need to go for courses, you need to do a lot of freebies, you need to do a lot of discounts, you need to ask people who can't pay instantly, give them a period of time for them to pay, and some don't never show up again. But the good thing is that you must also have a good support system for yourself.
Okay.
People you can turn to that can encourage you. But if it is something you love doing, I'm not saying the money aspect is not important. When your business is down, it's your passion that keeps you going. So you must do what you love and love what you do.
Do what you love and love what you do.
Yeah. Yes.
I like that. I like that thought process, because I mean, in many businesses, you tend to have periods where things are extremely difficult, and one begins to think, why am I even doing this to start with?
Exactly.
What's the point? I'm not getting that value that I'm looking for, that I started business for. But I guess when that passion is there, when you love what it is that you do, that will drive you to
It
actually
keeps
not
driving you.
and
Yeah.
keep on going, keep on pushing,
Mm,
and keep
mm,
on moving as well.
mm,
Very interesting thoughts
mm.
right there. Okay, now let's take a look at actually accelerating growth and what was pivotal for you in, should I say, taking it from 0 to 1,000 really quickly. When we talk about scaling a business, usually involves a few critical decisions that will determine its trajectory. Now, whether it's investing in more training or hiring a team or even expanding services as well, there's often a moment where a key decision leads to substantial growth. Now, um, I spoke to a business owner a couple of weeks ago. She's into baby skincare products, and we had a great conversation on that day. And then she said something to me. She said scaling is not for everybody.
Mm-mm.
That some people refuse to understand that. Some don't even realize that scaling is not for everyone, and they try to jump from A to J instead of going from A to B to C. And then when they decide to make that jump from A to J, they're not even ready for that level of demand, level of commitment, and so on and so forth. But for you, what was a pivotal choice or a decision that just accelerated the growth of Trimas Diamonds Consults for you? Was it one thing? Was it two? Was it five things that just took it from here, boom, all the way up?
No, no, no. For me, I in the business, I try for each step I take, I try to solidify, make sure I
Okay,
have mastered it
okay, okay.
before I move to the next one. At a point, I realized that I needed the knowledge, so I invested heavily in knowledge seeking. At a particular point, I need, okay, I have the knowledge. I needed, how do I market this knowledge that I have? I invested in marketing courses, breaking it down on how to do it.
Mm,
But back to your question, for me, is taking a step at a time. And I don't, like, if you come to me, what my niche is family, relationships. If you come with me for trauma, I will honestly tell you, I don't know about trauma. Even
okay,
though
okay.
yes, even though I have experience about it, but I'm not an expert in it.
Mm,
So I don't go into areas that I don't have expertise in. But bring anything on family in relationship and relationships, I will do it. I'll break it down to you to the very bits until you get it. So as much as possible, I try to stay on my lane.
mm.
That is not to say I don't have experiences in other areas. I use the experiences in other areas as related to my own specialization.
Right, right, right.
So if I,
Feeding
yes,
off those other parts.
yeah. So if I see trauma in a relationship, I recognize it.
Hmm.
And I go about it. But if you bring a whole trauma scene to me, or a child or drug abuse, if I see it in a family, I recognize it. But I am not the expert of how to bring a child, to treat a child with a young adolescent with drug abuse. I'll refer you to the experts. So
Mm.
at any point in time, don't chew more than you can eat, you can swallow.
Just maintain your level at that point.
Yes, yes. So when you strive to the next level, make sure you solidify it very well. It's just like building a house. You don't go building the roof when you don't have a good foundation.
That is true. Solidify from the ground up.
Yeah. So as I speak to you, I'm still work in progress. I'm still striving to be a better life coach each time because everything keeps changing. There's nothing as constant as change. So that's what works for me.
Mm. So basically, every business owner out there who is looking to move things to the next level and scale their business? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you are well versed in what it is that you're doing. Yes, the allure of being able to get into other parts of that type of business, yes, it's very appealing. But the thing is, when you are not solidified in one area, you begin to dilute your brand at the end of the day. So, Ramatu says you need to stay on your lane and make sure that you solidify that particular area that you are in before you begin to move to another level so that you don't, you know, dilute your brand at the end of the day. Very wise words there. Let's take another quick break. When we come back in, we'll talk about money. We need to talk about money, funding, because when it comes to starting a business, you need funding, whether it's taking a loan, whether family come together to support you, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that and so much more. Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1. We'll be right back. Interesting insights. Very interesting insights. That scaling of a thing. Many people just like to do more than themselves.
Because they are comparing themselves with the big brands.
The big brands didn't just get there. They don't realize
exactly. They didn't just get there. And the sky is very wide. Just take your time, a step at a time. And that's why I say I'm still work in progress. You understand? So you must keep striving. And then when you're building a house, when you finish foundation, make sure your foundation is well solidified so that any problem on that ground level, you can solve it. When you get to window level, solidify it. Make sure that any problem at that level too, you can solve it. So that way you keep building. You keep building. If you look, the big brands didn't get there just in one day. I can't compare myself because Larry Olushola Academy, he started, today he has an academy, but guess what? He started this business 20 years ago.
That's a while. 20 years.
Exactly.
And someone who gets in 1 year wants to be like that.
Wants to be like him or wants to charge like him. You can't charge like him or you can't be like him.
Let's get back in.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to Lagos Talks on Smooth 98.1, your love music, love live station on a Thursday morning. Ayokunmi right here with you, having great conversation alongside my very special guest in the person of Ramatu Ahmed. She is a life coach, a family counselor as well, and she is the CEO of Trimas Diamonds Consult. We have been talking about the business side of coaching and counseling, how to manage clients and to manage growth as well for all those out there who are aspiring life coaches, counselors, who love to help people, but have no idea of the business side of things because you need to understand the business side. Ramatu says passion and the business side are two very different things. You need to understand the business side, or else you will not turn that passion into profits at the end of the day. So join us on the conversation. Any questions that you might have or any insight as well, even into your business. If all these steps we're talking about, you've been able to apply to your business to take it from where it is to the next level, come through and share them with us on WhatsApp on 0809 440 981. You can give us a call on 0201 4489981. We're also streaming on YouTube. We're live at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. All right, getting back into the conversation. Now, Ramon, so before we went on that break, I said we're going to talk about money because we can't talk about starting a business without talking about money, talking about funding. That is very, very, very key. Many small business owners, they start with limited resources, and they really need to decide how to finance their ventures, whether it's using their personal savings or getting loans, or maybe family coming together to put money together for them. And of course, for life coaches as well, there's also that need to invest in education, as you mentioned, certification courses, NLP, EFT, build a website, workspace, something like that are usually part of the expenses at the beginning. Now, how did you manage your own resources or even secure funding in the very early days of setting up Trimas Diamonds Consult?
Wow, interesting question. COVID came. It came with its good sides and it came with its downsides too. So during COVID, I keep thanking God for that, because since there was COVID, this idea, okay, you need to go and rent an office, you need to go and do this, you need to go and do that, I couldn't start. So it started from my bedroom.
Oh, wow. Not even a room in the
Using
hospital.
technology.
Your bedroom, exactly.
Yes, using technology. Attending online classes. I started with freebies. Come, let me coach you. Then at the end, some will say, look, I got so much value for what you give me. I'm going to give you, I will pay you this. Initially, I struggled with charging people. So when people started giving me money, and I said, okay, so yes, I knew I had to charge money. So I started charging people money. And I started with people close to me to gather that experience.
Okay.
Like I told, till today, I'm still doing freebies.
It seems like one can't take that out completely.
Yes, because sometimes these freebies you do attract bigger money for you.
Some people don't see it like that.
Yeah, they will attract a client that will pay. I've gotten a freebie that today the person she introduced me to is one of my premium customers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So those freebies are just like sowing a seed. They would, because you don't know where people are coming from. So it's not money thrown away. So it started from my bedroom. I invested in technology. Very, very important. And all of us know what the wahala for Wi-Fi in this country, what it is. So you needed to invest in various types of different types of companies, tech companies, so that you have a stable, you have a steady supply. So technology was key for me, and I was struggling with technology too. So I needed to learn at least the basics of technology. I needed to learn that too. So I invested.
Are you there, Ramatu?
So
okay,
ICT,
you're back.
Yeah. So ICT is very important. Very soon, if you don't get on the hop of technology, you will not be different from an illiterate who never went to school. Because with the phone you have in your hands now, you can do so many things, but you must learn it. I'm talking to people in my generation. So, but now that we're outside, so gradually, then when I retired, like I told you, I invested a lot in acquiring the knowledge. Until today, I'm still doing that. So for business, or as a business owner, you must invest your money first before the money starts coming in. It takes time. For example, when you plant a corn, do you invest it the very first day? No, it takes time for it to grow. So Definitely. That's how all businesses are. But don't be in a hurry to recoup your investments. See that as a long-term investment. Don't be in a hurry to recover your investments. That's it.
Okay, now talking about said investment. Now, for those who are probably listening right now and saying, okay, I will invest XYZ into a business, but
Mm.
where do I even begin to get the money from? Now, would you advise such a person to, I don't know, maybe take a loan from the bank, or speak to family? They should bootstrap, see what they can do to help the person to get up, or get to at least start the business, because some people really have a problem of getting that initial funding together. It tends to be an issue for a lot of people. I mean, what would you advise people in that position to actually do?
Hmm. For me, personally, loan is out of it
Hmm.
because of the current interest rates. See, there's no stability in our financial world today in Nigeria.
Right.
It's clients that are coming to pay you money. You starting a business and then you're not even sure. So personally, I think take a step at a time. Use monies that are interest free.
Okay. Okay.
Use monies that are interest free so that you pay at your own time. But first and foremost, you must have a plan in place on how you're going to return these monies. So you, as an individual, must have a sustainable income flow for you
Mm.
to refund back the money.
That is something many people don't consider.
Yeah, you must have a sustainable income flow because there's law of karma. Don't go and dupe somebody. Yes, don't go and dupe somebody because you don't want to pay back their money. Anybody who believes in you will invest in you.
True.
Anybody
True.
who sees that you are genuine, you're authentic, you are goal-oriented, and you are impacting lives will invest in you. But please have a sustainable income with the intention to pay the person back.
Very, very important. And that's for those in the back who just uh do these things without thinking about the end game. Oh,
Mm.
I've got the loan, I got the loan, I got the money, I got the
Mm-mm.
funding. But you don't think about how you're going to pay back at the end of the
Mm.
You need to be very careful. You meet it in front if you are not careful. There's a message here. This is Bobby all the way from Kano. Bobby, how are you doing? He says, though I'm not into anything related to coaching, but I strongly relate to what Ramatu is saying about freebies and moving up slow and investing more. I feel enriched enough already with what I've picked so far. Excellent session. Thank you very much for the feedback, Bobby.
Mm.
Feels good knowing that you are getting the most value from this conversation. Now, talking about getting the most value, let's talk about, I know you touched on this already about securing your first clients, how you had to employ, as Bobby said, freebies just to, get people in. Now, what I'm going to ask is this. Now, for those who maybe have this sense of pride or this sense of, I'm doing business, I can't be doing freebies, what would you say to them at the beginning of the business when they don't have a firm footing or a reputation in that line of business for them to be able to secure their clients who feel, I can't give anything free? What do you say to those people that they need to calm down and just give something to bring them in, and then they have their first clients? What do you say to those people?
Show up for your business, speak up for your business with humility and
Mm,
sense of dignity. When you speak up consistently, somebody will hear you one day. When you show up for your business at any opportunity, somebody will hear you one day. When you are humble, I just gave you an example now. I gave a freebie, introduced me to somebody, and today that person she introduced me to is a premium customer, is my premium client. So you never know That's why we plant plenty of seeds.
Mm,
It's not all
mm,
that are
mm.
going to germinate.
That is true.
Some will, some will not. So just keep giving, believing that they will come back to you, and they come back to you. There's nobody who sows kindness and does not receive kindness.
In some way or form, yes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be from that person.
It could be from somewhere else.
It could be
Further down,
from, it can be
further,
from somewhere else.
further
The
down the
person
road.
yeah, exactly. The person you did freebie, you gave did a freebie, might not introduce, but might not be in a capacity to pay you back, but might enhance you getting ICT or this technology to pay small in a store. You don't have to pay cash.
Mm.
So all these things sum up to it. And then in the service industry, particularly from my own personal experience, is that it is not immediately you start reaping what you have sown. It takes time for it to grow, for people to gain confidence in you, to want to part with their money.
Interesting thoughts there. Patience is very, very key. Patience is definitely needed. No rushing. Take it easy.
So sell your business by speaking for your business all the time, by showing up for your business all the time, by doing it with humility and sense of dignity.
Wise words there. I feel that is something that should be framed and hung up, in the office of any aspiring entrepreneur out there. We'll take a final breather right now. When we come back in, we'll begin to wrap up on the conversation. I've had so much fun this morning. You can still send your thoughts and any questions that you might have as well, any comments as well, to us on WhatsApp. Studio line is also there. I'll give the numbers when we come back in. One final time. Lagos, don't go anywhere. This is Smooth 98.1. Listen to Smooth. Sharing wisdom. I love it. And I've seen that thing happen with a number of business owners. They always feel is money I used to start this business now. How can I be giving freebie? I mean, you're not as established as those other people, all those other brands out there. They knew what they had to do in order to draw the clients, and for a service-based business, like you said, when you can't see the products, they need to have something tangible that okay, I've seen what you can do. Yeah, I'll pay, that sort of thing.
Even do you know that at a particular point in time, that freebie starts reducing? It will, at a point, it even reduces to almost 0%.
Exactly. Once one has established,
so you just need to do it for you to establish. Once you establish, that's it. Exactly. Even from your form, you start selling from your form that people will sign, or people will fill. To book appointment to see you, you start charging.
Then they understand the value of what you're offering.
So until they understand the value they are taking, they are not willing to part with their money. From fixing of appointment, you start making money.
All right. Let's get ready to wrap up the conversation. So much fun.
Okay.
And we're back. The final moments of Lagos Talks this morning. I was about to say drive time discussion. How? It's still early in the morning. This is Smooth 98.1 Ayokunmi right here with you. I've been having such a great conversation around business this morning with the CEO of Triumph Diamonds Consults. That's Ramatu Ahmed. She's a life coach and a family counselor as well. And she's been, giving us insights into how she was able to build up her business. We've been looking at the business side of coaching and counseling, how to manage clients and growth as well. For those who are aspiring to get into that line of business, I'm really hoping that you've been able to take as much value from this conversation as you can. And for those who are probably just tuning in, there's no worry because you can always go back to the session. It's going to be right there on YouTube for you. All you have to do is go to our YouTube page, Smooth 981 FM Lagos, and you'll catch that and a whole lot of other conversations that we've had where you can get all the value from them. All right, Robin. So it has been a wonderful, wonderful morning. Now, before we actually end this discussion, I just need to know what your most important daily habits or routines are that actually keep you grounded and focused. Because I know that successful entrepreneurs, they often have these daily routines that usually contribute to their personal and business growth as well. Things that they do that every single day they have to do it. It's a part of them. It's a part of their daily affairs. Now, what are those things that you've imbibed that over the years have kept you focused and kept you grounded in your business?
Yeah, I don't have, I'm not a routine person, to be honest, but I don't joke with my prayers. I meditate a lot,
Okay.
and I do a lot of self-talk, which are, I have conversations with myself, and
Hmm.
then affirmations. I affirm that at times I need to keep pushing myself, and the only way I can do it is by saying affirmations to myself. Keep keep up with my affirmations, which I have in different forms. Short sentences, I'm enough, and I keep reciting it. But most importantly, I don't joke with my prayers. Then my own principle is life is that whatever I sow, I reap. So
Hmm.
as much as possible, and I believe in kindness too. Being kind to people, being kind to fellow human beings, and all things around me. So, as much as possible in my relationship, I emphasize kindness.
Hmm.
That's what
Kindness,
keeps me going. Yeah, kindness.
kindness is very, very key.
Yeah, it's very important to me. So,
All
so,
right.
so, so those are the things that keep me going, and those are things I live for. Being kind to fellow human beings.
Be kind to your fellow human beings, not just business owners out there.
Mm-mm,
Every single
mm,
person, be kind
mm,
to the next person. It doesn't really
yeah.
take anything out
Mm-mm,
of you. It
mm-mm,
makes it more beautiful and more amazing as
mm.
the days go by. Thank you so much for the extremely wise words. Before I let you, off the conversation this morning, Robert, so where can, for those who are listening right now, who would love to talk to you more about, the business and any other thing in between, on social media specifically, where can they find you on Instagram, maybe LinkedIn, or even a website as well? Where can they find you to, have more conversations with you?
Yeah, they can find me on my website is www Trimons Diamonds. And so my social handle is on Facebook and Instagram. Trimals Diamonds too.
Primus
Those
Diamonds.
are,
Very
yeah,
simple.
yeah,
All
very
right.
simple.
All
So they
right.
can
Thank
find me
you.
there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again, Ramatu Ahmed,
Thank
for
you for
joining me
having
this
me.
morning. It was
Yeah,
a pleasure talking to you. Have yourself a great Thursday
yeah.
and a great weekend, because for me, weekend start on Thursday in my head. So,
All
exactly.
right.
All right. You
Thank you
take
for
care of
having me.
yourself.
All right.
Ready.
Bye. Okay,
And of
thanks.
course, Lagos and Nigeria and the entire world, because Bobby is listening from Kano. So it's not only about Lagos. Thank you for being a part of Lagos Talks this beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. I keep it tuned to your Love Music, Love Live station, Smooth 98.1. There is so much more great music to come to get you in the mood. It's a throwback Thursday sort of day. Hey, that's what we do. Keep it tuned.